In this video, I'm going to show you how to beat Skeletron in Terraria. By this point in the game, we've defeated quite a few bosses and are well on our way to getting into hard mode, but there are still one or two main bosses we have to defeat before doing that. The one I'm going to be showing you how to defeat in this video is Skeletron, and not only does he drop a whole lot of awesome loot, but he also gives you access to the dungeon after defeating him. While it is not necessary to defeat Skeletron to get into hard mode, inside the dungeon is the only place the Muramasa drops, which is one of the 4 swords needed to create the Knight's Edge. The main reason we're trying to get the Knight's Edge is because it makes it considerably easier to defeat the Wall of Flesh. Without it, the boss becomes more difficult than most in hard mode. So the first step in fighting Skeletron is to simply travel the world until you come across the dungeon. It's usually towards one of the outer sides of the world, either on the left or the right, and you'll see an old man wandering around inside. I've still not come across the dungeon in my own world yet, so I'm going to explore a little until I do. And remember, if you enjoy these tutorials and want to see more, head over to GameTimeBros.com, sign up to be a free member, and get access to more exclusive and in-depth guides. Like most other bosses, Skeletron can only be fought at night, so make sure to only venture to the dungeon with your best gear and when the sun starts to fall. Once you get to your dungeon, you'll see an old man wandering around outside. If you talk to him during the day, he will say, "I cannot let you enter until you free me of my curse." If you are below 300 health and or 10 armor, he will say you are not ready to face his master. Take this as a hint from the devs to mean that you are not quite ready to face this boss yet. However, if you have followed all of the previous steps in my other videos, you will be plenty ready for this fight. One thing to note, it seems you can go venture into the dungeon all you want. There's no such barricades or anything blocking you from going in, but once you hit ground level 0, Skeletron's head will spawn, named the Dungeon Guardian, and will kill you instantly. Even with max level stuff, in the hardest modes, he's almost impossible to defeat. The best thing to do is to just get the Skeletron fight over with so you can venture in safely. Now that it is nighttime, we can talk to the old man, and once we click curse, Skeletron will spawn. You can see that Skeletron not only has a head, but 2 hands with separate health bars. The best thing to do is to get rid of his hands first, so all he has as a weapon is his face. His head also does the most amount of damage, so you want to be careful and not let it touch you. If you do happen to die for any reason, don't worry, the old man will respawn within the next day, so you can find him as many times as you need to defeat him. And it seems I have defeated him. With the dungeon now at your disposal, you can find a lot of higher level loot sitting inside, as well as a whole bunch of chests that you cannot unlock until hard mode. For our purposes though, all we're looking for is the Muramasa to create the Knight's Edge. One of the chests you can open are these golden lock chests, and you can see when I hover over it, it shows that I need a golden key to open it. These are simply found by killing skeletons and slimes that are in the dungeon and are just a rarer drop than normal. It should be plenty easy to find a whole bunch to unlock all of the chests inside. The blue torches you see laying around the place are not just different colored than normal, they also increase the spawn rate of monsters, which is why you'll see a lot more skeletons in the dungeon. Looking inside this first chest, you can see we immediately have found the Muramasa and are done with the dungeon for now. With the Muramasa now in our possession, all we need is the fiery greatsword and the blade of grass to create our Knight's Edge. In this video, I showed you how to defeat Skeletron, and in the next, I'm going to show you how to create the Knight's Edge.